Hello, hello, Satnam, welcome. Take a minute and let yourself, before we get started, just to drop in and create the space that you want to hold for yourself, whatever that looks like. You can do this in the bath, you can do it when you're sitting in bed, you can do it sitting on the ground, however you want to be comfortable while we go through the journey together. So this, I apologize, this was going to be like a live video, but I'm having some, technical difficulties. So I'm just going to record it and post it for you guys to watch at your leisure instead. So let me know in the comments how you enjoyed it, and feel free to reach out to me on one of the ways of social media in which we connect, and let me know too. I'd love to hear it. So like I said, just give yourself that permission, that space to just ground and anchor in. Maybe take a nice deep breath into the nose. And a big exhale through the mouth. Inhale into the nose. And one more deep cycle of breath, inhaling up into that body from the bottom all the way up to the heart, the chest. And exhale. I'm just going to light my candle. If you have your candle lit already, perfect. If you want to wait until we do the fire clearing, you can light it then as well. I connect with fire before I start anything, so I'm just going to light my candle. And I just have a little bit of rosemary that I rolled from the garden a few months ago. So it's just letting yourself, again, set the space up for how you want to interact with this setting, with this space, with this moon, most importantly, just with yourself, giving yourself that time and space to really connect and honor. So welcome, welcome. Let's just get into it. So we're going to go through a little bit of the energy, going to pull some cards, go through a clearing, and then do a little sound bath. So it's kind of everything's going to flow and anchor in for you as we go through the journey together. So today we have a full moon penumbral lunar eclipse. So the penumbral just means that it's a partial eclipse. So it's not full coverage. It's just kind of the Earth's shadow casting that shadow onto the face of the moon. So you just see the kind of edging of the moon, and also it depends on kind of where you are in the world, but I believe you can see it in certain parts of North America as well. So anytime we have eclipse energy come forward, it's an amplifier, it's a duality. We have this interruption, and we also have this direct opposition, right? And we have the full moon, we have sun and moon kind of right across from each other. That's why the moon is lighting up, right? So you already have this tension being created to help us anchor in the frequencies of just self-conscious, of being conscious and working towards our own self. And it's amplified with this eclipse. So because it's an eclipse and the full moon is in Gemini, Gemini is a mutable air sign. So the mutable means that it likes to constantly be moving, it likes to change, it likes to kind of push us a little farther and things like that. So we have I'm just going to kind of go through it, and just, if you don't get it, you don't pick up everything, it doesn't matter. Just the main points are going to come through. So we have the moon sitting in Gemini, all about communication. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in Scorpio right now, last degree before it moves into Sagittarius. So essentially we have this energy happening to transform, this really passionate desire to really shift the way in which we communicate. It's also showing areas in which we don't communicate, or if we communicate in harmful ways versus proper kind of grounded communication. And we have that, opposite to the sun in Sagittarius, which is a mutable fire sign. So Gemini is, I think, it's intellect, it's air, it's communication. And we have Sagittarius, which is all about seeking, seeing, knowledge, expansion. And it's a fire energy too. Again, it's mutable, so it likes that constant action, constant charge. And Sagittarius can be a little bit in your face when it comes to trying to get a point across or trying to share their knowledge. So you have this energy of Gemini of like, I think this, and you have this Sagittarius energy as well. That's like, I'm seeking this. So you have I think and I seek. So there's lots of head energy. So last week for me was like really, really unsettling, really trapped in some of those darker thoughts, really stuck in that space of anxiety, because it's really important to ground. I find Gemini energy to be very, it's very in the upper chakra. It's throat, it's third eye, it's crown, it's soul star. So it's lots of upper chakras. And this not only helps us expand our communication with the world that we're in, but it also helps communicate with the receiving of the intuition, and just communicating with these guides, ancestors, angels, whatever language you want to use for your connection to that. That's what it is. Ancestral wisdom, all that kind of stuff too, right? But it's coming from that space of up instead of the ground, because we communicate from both. So it's really important to just be really mindful of how your energy is feeling. And if you need to ground and take some time to be in the body, then do some physical movements and, like, cooking or washing dishes, physical activity. Those are all things that are really going to help you get in the body. Because we have this energy that's being amplified and asking us to really see how we think, what we think about, where we focus our energy, where we focus our thoughts, and understanding that that's all free will, that we can shift those thoughts. We are not our thoughts, we create them. So it's really important to be mindful of what you're seeking and how you're thinking. There is this energy of transforming the way in which we interact with what we do, how we live, and what we're doing. 2020 has been an interesting year for a lot of things. And then as we come to the close of 2020, it's really, really amping us up to really step into those spaces of discomfort, so that we're not the same person that we don't want to be, right? It's those changes that, maybe we're afraid to make because of how we'll look to other people, or how we thought we would live versus how we actually want to live. All of those things are kind of coming to the foreground right now to kind of work through. So we have this clash of that happening, but we also have this beautiful energy of Jupiter, and Jupiter with the sun being in Sagittarius, and Jupiter is all about expansion and abundance. And, so we have this duality of staying the same, or do we have to change? Is this something in our control, not in our control? All of these things are really coming up right now. It's like really challenging ego versus heart, right? And ego is not a bad thing. It just we have to learn how to communicate with ego in a little bit of a more grounded, humble way, right? So then we have Venus, which is in Scorpio right now too. So you have all of this passionate transformation, love energy, communication energy in Scorpio right now. So those relationships, romantic relationships specifically, we've seen a lot of resistance in romantic relationships with marriage and dating and babies. Lots of things have shifted this year. And this is kind of bringing that all up into illumination as well with this full moon. There's lots of tensions either under the scene or really coming out into the open when it comes to romantic relationships and how we're showing up with them. And because it's opposite Uranus, which is about freedom, it's new beginnings and eccentricity. It's like seeking. If you're bored in your love life, this is kind of like amplifying that. If you want to have a more exciting love life, this is also amplifying that. So there's this energy of what I'm saying. It's like overthinking about the wrong things, so it's time to really pull it in and really focus on what matters and what doesn't matter. This is about values and beliefs, really being careful how we talk to ourselves. Last week I was having a lot of hard time with like body image and just a lot of old subconscious beliefs that we always work through them, but they were still showing up a lot. I had migraines, headaches. Again, we have this energy of these upper chakras, which is beautiful because it's clearing us, allowing us to have a clear communication to our soul. 2020 is really taking us out of our comfort zones and really showing us that we have to live in alignment with what we want. That working just to work and doing this just to do this isn't working anymore, that we really have to kind of reassess and find ways in which we can live in a way that's constantly nourishing ourselves, as opposed to having to feel like we're a slave to life and have to kind of just keep going and we get little breaks of happiness. This is about really seeing the truth of how you can have a sustainable level of joy, of contentness. So, and Uranus is in Aries too right now. So that's like, again, we have all this fire. We have fire and water and air. So it's a lot of emotional, kind of like, it sounds like a volcano, like a tea kettle boiling over. Everything is like, and eclipses work on a 6 month timeline. So it's like, but 2020 for me, this is like the last like 19, 25 years have been a theme that's coming up this year. So it's like really, really taking stock of your life. This is that judgment card, looking back, seeing what works, seeing how you've grown, seeing where you can grow more, and applauding yourself for the journey you've given yourself, but being very, very strict with where those thoughts are going, where your energy is. It's leaky, right? I find Gemini energy, for me anyways, it can be very distracting. So it's really important not to get caught up in those mind cycles, those cycles of self-abuse, right? Or comparison or shaming other people, just like really being very mindful of where you're going. So I just have a couple notes because there's lots of things. Yeah, so like I said, we have Mercury, we have Scorpio and Mercury and Scorpio. We also have Neptune and Pisces, which is right at home. So that's kind of a nice placement because that's all about dreaminess, letting ourselves have that space, like be in the watery creation of life and expansion and connection to other worlds. But there is like a little bit much of an illusion, being careful not to paint a picture that is so unachievable that you set yourself up to fail. So there's just this full moon for me last week was really taking me, I say last week because like the whole week has been really hard. So keep that in mind too, that the other full moon energy is, the night before, the night of, the night after. But deeper than that, it really, it goes across about a week before and a couple days after, depending on how sensitive you are, and also depends on your chart. So it's really important to also kind of see your natal chart or like have a little bit of an understanding of it, because it kind of lets you see how you're going to interact with different energies and different placements and things like that. So the peak of this full moon would have been, I think like super early this morning, like 4 o'clock or 1 o'clock on the other side of the world. It was like 4:40 or something here in the morning. So that was like the peak. So tonight's the official day of it, and then tomorrow as well. So it's just, stay grounded. Eclipses are a lot of energy. So this, like I said, this full moon is just, it's really bringing up the spaces within us that want to expand, that want to grow, and then we're like talking ourselves out of it. We're thinking ourselves out of it. We are either thinking that we're going to look like other people aren't going to support us, or we're not going to be able to fully step into it, or we don't think it's possible. So it's stop talking yourself out of the changes that you're seeking, that you want to have. This is also all about kind of reconstructing the way in which we handle our values and beliefs, and where we're at with those, and how you want to live. Which, I mean, 2020 and COVID and everything has kind of brought that to the surface anyways, that the way in which we have been living isn't working for a lot of people. And so now it's just it's putting those, what you've had realized, into tangible action steps, because we have the Geminis, also the twins. It's a polarity, it's a duality. So this is that struggle again showing up, right? It's this or that. It's too many options. It's letting yourself have too many options instead of finding one that makes sense and that's concrete and it's tangible. It's too many options on the table. We have the sun and moon oppositions. You have this duality, divine feminine, divine masculine, finding that balance, that calibration. You have that Venus opposite Uranus, which takes us again. Venus is that, like, I love, it's romance, it's Taurus and Libra energy. So it's that I have and balance, but it's opposite to that Uranus, which is that I know. So it's kind of like this romantic illusionist vibe with this very, very certain I know energy. So they're clashing to let us see the restrictions that are either true in a relationship or that we presume to be there, right? Which is why we have this kind of necessary to see, like, what you think you know versus what you actually know, and not telling yourself a different story. I think that's probably all I'm going to go into for that stuff, because it can go forever. But essentially, this is just, like I said, grounding us into choose options that we know to be true, and you know, the energy is about romance and looking outside of ourselves are always big themes, but it's also how much growth you've gone through within relationships, how those change due to those growths and things like that. So yeah. Let me go on. So the root chakra is showing that it really you need to stand in your power right now. You need to remember your values and beliefs. You need to live by them, really letting yourself feel safe at home, setting up a foundation that lets you feel secure. This also has to do with healing money blocks, and money is also something that's coming up with this full moon, is money, how we make money, how we relate to money. If we spend money frivolously, if that's one of our addictions is money spending, or if we're over saving. I don't know if you can oversave, but that kind of restrictive spending. It also has to do with family healing. There's a lot of, I keep finding myself tuning into my sacral chakra this month. So there's a lot of family healing, ancestral healing, and karmic healing happening. So the root chakra is coming on to say, no, stand really strong in who you are and set yourself up in a space that you feel safe so you can make changes appropriately. And then the sacral chakra is showing that it is time to heal beyond time and space. So some of us are here and we are really seeing family patterns, seeing family karma, seeing family cycles, and like intergenerationally, and we are here to heal those and to work through those. So this is a sign to, you know, to let go of some of the responsibility that you have to be the one to break the cycles. You can hand some of that power back to your ancestors. You can hand some of that knowledge back. You can hand some of that trauma back. And this also has to relate with past relationships, letting them go, healing them. This is healing across timelines, and coming into that sacral chakra to tune into a different level of who you are. The sacral chakra holds a lot of beautiful, potent energy, and a lot of times we disconnect from that. So this is an invitation to just start tuning into that lower part of your body a little bit more every day, and just seeing how your body is communicating you when it comes to how they want to eat, how they want to move, X, Y, or Z. Start trusting that a little bit more. And then we have the solar plexus, which is showing the same thing. This is inner child healing. This is healing that inner child, healing those childhood wounds so that you are able to be open to what comes your way in the future, to be open to what comes your way now, so that your relationships that you're in are not reflecting that trauma, but rather either allowing you to heal that trauma, or you are walking away from traumatic relationships that are indicative of that childhood trauma. This is this is all to heal that confidence center, so you feel confident, so you can create a life that you like. This is about inner joy, vitality, freedom. This is sun energy, solar energy, right? So the sacral chakra is water, so that's like the moon energy, so moon in Gemini, you know, clearing out that stuff. Then we have the fire activation in the solar plexus with Sagittarius, about seeking freedom, seeking joy, and all that kind of stuff too, right? Heart chakra, again, is showing the healing of the past. So this is, you know, I've also been feeling this. I've had some weird people reach out to me who I used to know I haven't talked to in about 10 years, 9 years. And they're all kind of reaching out and pulling at these little heartstrings. So this is, you know, showing that there is heart chakra healing right now. There is this upgrade happening to take us into a space of true companionship with the world, and not so much isolation. Sounds kind of weird saying that, since I know, especially if you're close to me here, there's lots of lockdowns happening, but it's to step out of isolation and separation, separatist thinking, so that we can come together and just see that, like, humanity needs to heal together in cycles with nature, and we need to kind of come back to that space. This is also Empress energy, abundance, Mother Nature. So again, quite literally mothering yourself, giving yourself that love, giving yourself that self-care, and letting yourself have that permission to let go and forgive. You know, we don't need someone to ask for forgiveness in order for us to give it. We can just give it. And it's also just forgiving the self. So this is, you know, we have that sacral, solar plexus, and heart all healing across timelines right now. So this lifetime, past lifetimes, family, karmic cycles, this is a big influence right now. So if there is a theme that comes up and you see it in your family, how can you move with that and switch it around a little bit? How can you move forward with love and forgiveness? And also, you know, really starting to cut ties with people who hurt you, who have hurt you, who have shown you that they're going to hurt you. Really letting yourself let that go, because that's closing the cycle. And again, it's that seeking and thinking and allowing yourself to seek something outside of trauma and of healing. We don't need to be so stuck in it, you know? Throat chakra, we have, again, similar to the root, we have a power up. So this is about clear communication. When I think of the throat chakra, this obviously relates to guilt. We can get into anger when it comes here. For me, the throat chakra is also, it's a masculine energy. So this is also where we stand our ground. We have good boundaries. It's protective. Like, we don't swallow the words of others. We're able to kind of put something there that blocks them off. So this is also where we expand the throat chakra, and we're able to receive clearly and communicate what we are receiving from a soul's perspective. And this is also about, you know, not feeling bad about expressing yourself, finding creative ways to express yourself, finding new ways to express yourself, pushing those boundaries, you know. And because we have all of that, the past life and this lifetime and the past healing showing up, it's also showing to look at how your family communicates, look how you grew up in your family. Was it a environment where communication was open and you could have conversations that kind of showed conflict in a healthy way, or was it always a blow up? Was it always a fight? Was there abuse? This all influence how we feel comfortable or uncomfortable when it comes to communication, and things like that. Then when it comes to like everything else too, that heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral, root, it's like, how many times have we expressed ourselves and it's been thrown in our face? So this is the time to really just like, you know what, step up, heal, let go. It doesn't need to be so hard. Give yourself permission to express yourself. So funny. I've never had this. There's only 2 symbols showing up. So the third eye, again, power up. Trust your intuition. Believe that you have it, first of all. You know, we have, I think and I see. So if you are overanalyzing, if you are overthinking, we block that intuition. If you show up with too many questions, or you like, I need to know this, we block it. So this is simplify the practice. It's not so, doesn't need to be this big giant experience every time of just knowing, because that intuition is also what lets you tap into that knowledge that exists in space and the ethers and just in the lineage too. And then, like, you know what, the root chakra, sacral chakra all have that connection to ancestral knowledge, to that wisdom. And so, you know, with that throat and that intuition showing the same symbol, it's like, stop disconnecting yourself from spirit, stop disconnecting your source, whatever language you want to use, energy, whatever, it's all the same. Stop seeking outside of yourself for answers. Stop relying on other people to tell you the answers, and start trusting yourself and letting yourself have that inner knowing that you know what's best for you, right? We get taken out of that self-trust time and time again. So this is really taking us back to that self-trust, self-sovereignty, self-authority, autonomy. All this stuff is all the same thing. And it's all taking us to this space where we have to trust ourselves if we're going to walk forward. If you're always in this space of doubt, you're always in between 2 decisions. Like I said, there's too many choices. Pick one and stick to it. Trust that you know where you're going, that you know how to get there, and that if something happens, you can get out of it. You know, you're not this lost lamb stumbling through, I don't know, a lion's den. Like you have the tools you need to succeed. You need to start trusting yourself more. And then we have healing the connection to the crown chakra. Through, you know, this comes from feeling disconnected. We can feel alone. We can feel unseen. We can feel unworthy of X, Y, or Z. I mean, worthiness comes from a few places, but with this, because of what the symbol that's showing up, it is showing that there is a emotional detachment when it comes to feeling an emotional detachment to your higher self. Your higher self is just your soul. It's your core self. It's who you are inside before we start putting on everything else. So there is a disconnect happening between your consciousness, and this is opening. And with this is also why some people are having anxiety, panic attacks, manic depression this past week or two, because this disconnection is so strong. And, you know, from my experience, it's like we have to come back to that space of knowing who we are outside of work, of family, of food, of comforts, of a house, of being a male or female or not. Like, you know, it's like that those don't matter, right? Which is why I really do love the non-binary movement, because it's taking away more identities and more labels in which we get stuck in, you know. So it's expanding yourself outside of the box again, and not letting yourself get so caught up in disbelieving that you are more than a physical body. You are so much more than a physical body, right? So there's lots and lots of ancestral healing happening. There's lots of healing that's happening for the past, your whole life right now. Again, seeing family patterns, addictions, heartbreak, and really starting to own the fact that we're not just a physical body. Energy runs through all of us. It's what holds everything together. And it's that simple to just tune in every day and just start to say, like, you know what, like, I'm just gonna take a few minutes and breathe and just feel my own energy from a place of understanding. You know, like, what does your soul actually want versus what we think that we want? Because that's a big one, which is also that I seek versus I think energy that we're seeing with the Sagittarius and the sun. So we have the wolf moon, hunger, showing up. So, you know, this is get hungry. You know, let yourself be hungry for what you want. Keep fighting for what you want. And also let yourself celebrate those things. You know, now is a time to really like get hungry, get feisty, be with it, because we're setting up to close out the year, right? I know we don't want to we don't want to think about it or talk about it, but we are getting ready to close out this year. So it's like, how bad do you want something? Do you kind of want it, or do you really want it? Because right now it really matters. So let yourself get hungry, let yourself be hungry for that, and go after that. We are moving. This is brought to my attention at a ceremony I was at with my girlfriend Delia and Taylor. And I didn't even pay attention to it, but it's the last full moon in the west in the fall, before we move to the winter, before we move into the north direction, which is, you know, we're moving from water into earth. And so that earth is that darkness, that divine feminine, that shadow, that darkness kind of vibe. So we are shifting again. So this is also to like, let yourself get hungry, nourish yourself, store up, do what you need to do to be in that space of prosperity for yourself. Assessing, seeing what works and what doesn't work, letting yourself have that time and space to develop that relationship to yourself that you can see clearly, unbiasedly, how to move forward. And also we have this yellow energy with this full moon, obviously, also relates to that solar plexus chakra, inner child, also relates to anxiety, fear, worry, issues of stomach, So between really mindful, like maybe you feel called to do a cleanse or, you know, stay on the yellow foods, whatever. It's winter here, so it's more of like earthy foods that we kind of want to go through, so squashes and things like that. But it's just pay attention to anger and worry and how they're showing up. And then we also have that purple and blue energy, those higher chakras showing. So this is using that awareness to float higher and assess, again, that judgment card, seeing what's lurking over your life, what hasn't been working over your life, and how you've been letting the same scenarios play out, or what you're doing to dismantle those scenarios. Abundance, again, hunter moon. So we do have this beautiful energy of expansion happening. So, you know, the hunter moon, the abundance is what happens. And it's like you go out and you hunt everything. It's the time of year where the animals are also stocking up for the winter. So there's a little bit more opportunity to hunt them in abundance. And it gets you through the winter. So this is about seeing the abundance and stocking up, taking joy in the small things. And again, we have that red and orange color from that lower chakra. So this is about taking care of your needs, your self-care, stepping up your self-care, making sure you feel grounded, and maybe diving into some herbal remedies and things like that. And then we have exactly self-love. We have that self-care, self-love game, nourishing yourself. We're moving into the winter. We're going between now and the winter solstice. A lot's going to happen. This is where all the eclipses are happening. Then we have the winter solstice. So this is really important to let yourself be nourished, learn how to nourish yourself, learn how to love yourself, learn how to accept yourself, learn how to forgive yourself. It's really, really important right now, because you need to be able to own that, to move to clear out the next level. And we have will, the free will card. This has been showing up a lot. I think a lot of us forget the power of free will. It's like we almost take it for granted. You can decide something and stick to it. And again, this is that too many options, stick to something, you know. And if you have that free will, I'm not going to do this, or I'm going to do this, use that. Same thing for energy. Like if you don't want someone's energy in your field, all you have to do is consciously say no. If you want to clear your energy, I release all energies that are not my own, and you clear them, you let them go. Your free will is what takes you to the next level of not getting disrupted by other people's patterns. Okay, so let's just see what animal is going to come forward before we move into the last two, and then we'll do the fire. I think it doesn't show me how long I've been on here. I don't know. So what is, oh my God, snake. So snake medicine, obviously I shed, I release, I let go. This is about letting yourself truly experience that death to be transformed. If we're holding on to pieces of us, we aren't going to be able to truly step into that new person. Sometimes it does take a radical change of self in order to achieve that level of freedom that we want, that we know we can have, that is calling to us. Again, we have that green and yellow energy, sacral, solar plexus, and heart, saying to live from the heart, to let go of the pain, to let go of the childhood pains, let go of the memories, let go of the people that have hurt you, let go of the people who even have served you, that are just outdated, that you've outgrown, or they've outgrown you. This is calling for that true transformation, that true death, that no more hiding, no more holding on. It's time to let it go. And then we also have crow medicine. Again, we have those beautiful purples and violets. So that's that upper chakras. And crow is like that messenger from spirit, ability to witness, to see, to carry, and to hear. You know, we think about crows and how they've been around, and their messages and their darkness, and how they eat. And, you know, it can be a little discomforting, but they're a messenger. So this is, you receive messages from spirit. You have this within you. You have loved ones around you who are supporting you. They're clapping for you. If you want to receive a message from them, tune in every day. Again, you're not so disconnected from this energy that you have to outsource everything. Start developing a connection. Okay, it's practice, it's discipline, it's free will. Okay, like self-discipline is self-care. So this is, stop outsourcing your spirituality, stop outsourcing your experiences, and start having them within you, because that's actually the wisdom. I can teach you everything, but you have to put it into play. You have to try it in order to actually experience it and gain the actual wisdom, right? So let's see what the angels and ancestors have to say to us for this full moon together. Medicine guardian, be open to healing information, and great teacher, learn from your spiritual experiences. Literally can't make it up. So we have the medicine guardian, be open to healing information. Again, we have that green, that heart chakra, Archangel Raphael kind of vibe. So, you know, healing is flowing to you, through you, and around you at all times. We don't have to search so hard for it. We don't need to try so hard all the time. Sometimes, yeah, it is a lot of work. Other times, that laughter and that joy and that pleasure and the simple moments have more healing in them than we want to give them. So surrender yourself to the process and stop trying to, it doesn't need to be as big or as complicated. You know, we all have the medicine we need within us. We all know the answers within us. Again, that trusting yourself, that intuition, trusting yourself, and that throat chakra, taking action on what you're receiving. So there's this combination of trusting yourself, receive the information, take action, and do the things, and letting your heart heal. And then we have the great teacher, the learn from your spiritual experiences. What have you witnessed already? What have you seen already? What have you in yourself already? How have you shifted that already? What has been an example in your life that has shown you, you know, whether it was a feather on the ground, or it was a song where it came on and you thought of someone who passed. Maybe it was you had a vision and it came true. Maybe you just had a connection to yourself, or to a tree, or to a person. You know, like, this is, take your experiences and see them as spiritual. See life as spiritual. Spirituality is not something separate from how you live every day. It is how you live, rather, right? It's not something you turn on all of a sudden and turn off. It's something that you live with every day. It's not something that you just do when it's convenient. So this is, you know, an invitation to see your life, you know, and see it from a different perspective. And it's also an invitation to step into life in a more dedicated way, to witnessing everything as the beauty that it is. And then on the bottom, we have wise one, which is grow within your current situation, with the three-eyed raven and the owl. And this is the recognition of the crone, which is associated with the element with the direction north and the season of winter. I can't talk. So, you know, it's exactly that, grow within your current situation. How can you grow right now? What can you do? What's in your power that you can grow right now? Can you soften? How can you surrender? How can you love better? How can you show up for yourself better? How can you show up for your community better? How can you do literally whatever? And it's also about witnessing the shadow and seeing, you know, the lessons. Like, usually when we're in the sadness, the anger, the pain, there's a reason why. So and again, it's that inner wisdom, that inner guidance, the not outsourcing, the seeing yourself as that wise one, right? I am no more wiser than you are. You have all of the knowledge I do within you. It's just a matter of remembering. Divine Feminine Oracle deck, obviously, because I have to. Stop it right now. The Cosmic Egg, the Divine Feminine. Literally root chakra and sacral chakra. Like, the glare is pretty bad on it, but I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever expanding love. So, you know, the divine feminine, I'm not going to talk about it because it's like a 5-hour talk in itself, if not longer. I hold the universe within me. The energies that make life flow through people, flow through everybody. There is an opportunity for us all to witness our ability to truly create the life that we desire. There's an opportunity for us to create a world that we want to live in. There's an opportunity for us to tune in and love harder and love truer and love faster and stronger without conditions, without manipulations. This is about complete self-acceptance. This is about letting yourself be reborn. This is about going into that womb, dying and coming back out, no matter what your gender or non-gender. This is about, we all come from a womb. We all have that energy within us. This is about letting yourself remember that, and that you can go into that and birth that all over again. And then we have, oh my God, the white buffalo calf woman. Oh my God. So this is the prophetess of a sacred way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. So this also relates to the prophecy of a new age, right? So my heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. The time is now for humanity, for us to rise into that heart space, to come into a new understanding of how we are living together in a world, right? How do we live together in our house? How do we live together in our community, in our friendships, in our romantic partnerships, and as a global effort? How are we showing up in a heartfelt way? How are we showing up in a way that is dedicated to love? The path of love is true abundance. To witness the fact that everything has a vibration of love. And that vibration of love you can transfer to saying life. It's not my life, it's not your life, it's life. It's not my love, it's not your love, it's love, right? It simply is. And to be in that space of unconditional love is to just be in total, complete acceptance of what is. And then again, so we have, these are like lots and lots of lower chakras energies, really grounding ourselves into this new frequency of who we are, really starting to learn about who we've become this year. Who have we become this year? And then we have Hestia, the goddess of sanctuary. No matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. Again, that red and orange energy. So I wish you could see these better. Maybe I'll share them in some other way. So, you know, this is really speaking to me about healing the lineage. This is about a lot of healing the family lines, and that red and orange energy and yellow is a merging of divine feminine and masculine energy. This is about being willing to love and support in a way that is congruent to expansion within the human race, within nature, within totality, total acceptance of the fact that the world is the world and we're not separate from it. So no matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. So again, this is coming home to the self, connecting to that, or that crown chakra, connecting to that root chakra and that heart, and really anchoring in the fact that you have all that you need to always feel safe. Okay. If there's a place that you feel unsafe and you need to leave that space, and you leave that space, but you come back to your heart every time, and you come back to what you know to be true. And how you do that is through allowing yourself to be there with yourself every day. And again, there is this energy of sacral chakra and root chakra healing happening. So I don't want to do that. The High Priest. So the High Priest is major arcana, number 5. 5 relates to changes, big structure changes. And the High Priest is all about structure, spiritual practice, lessons. You know, he, she, it knows what to do, practices how to do it, lives by it, isn't doing one thing and saying another. It's a congruency in the teachings. So this is to show up for yourself in a way that is in an authority over your life, that shares the wisdom, and that allows yourself to follow the journey that's before you, and maybe to learn and to study more about some of the practices that call to you, instead of just kind of saying, oh, that's too much work. Like, it's not too much work to dedicate yourself to something that's going to help you grow in this way. And again, that 5 is a strong change. There's a very strong foundational change that's happening, you know, at a core level. Like if you want to say cellular level, say cellular level, there's a shift that's happening in your consciousness that's taking you into this space that really is craving that structured understanding of your practice. We have smudging ceremony. So clear your spaces, clear yourself, clear your mind, get rid of all the clutter, get rid of mental clutter. It's a full moon. We are letting go under the full moon, not manifesting. We are clearing, especially under eclipse. We are clearing. So this is, you know, also understand what smudging means. It's the same and clearing and smoke medicine, and why there are different terms for them based off different cultures, belief systems, and things like this. This is about finding sacredness in your clearing practice. This is about being diligent in your clearing practice. Take time right now, clear your house, clear your energy, get rid of stuff that's taking up space that you don't use anymore. I think some of you have stuff that ex-partners have given you that is just you can't let go of. So just let go of all of that stuff that is there. We have spirit of fire, activate to purify, again, clearing. This is also a very rampant energy that's about creativity and life, and not forgetting that you can create this. Like, you have this inner fire that needs to be activated and tended to and cared for. So, you know, how do you take care of it? Do you like roar your fire out and then it dies, or are you sustaining it? So this is about understanding your inner fire, your works, how to work with it. Using it for creativity, creative projects. Some of you are starting new things. Some of you are trying to start new things. Some of you don't want to, but you want to at the same time. Let yourself start the thing. Let yourself use fire, use that creative inner force to really drive you and to not be overwhelmed. And then walking in beauty. So this is just witnessing, this is witnessing the beauty in every moment. This is witnessing the beauty that's around us, that surrounds you, that encompasses you, that is life, the beauty of your face, the beauty of your skin, the beauty of your body, the beauty of someone else's body. This is literally witnessing the beauty in every single moment. Before you eat, smell it. Take a small bite. When you walk outside, really listen to the sounds outside. Really listen to people when they speak to you. Really witness how much beauty can you find in one single moment, and start living your day like that, living your life like that, to be so present and so aware and so just awestruck at the simple beauties of life that everything else will fall into place and fall away, because you're able to be in this complete state of presence with life, with witnessing the abundance, the beauty, the joy. Again, this expansion energy is happening right now with all this Jupiter going on, but it's not going to happen if we're stuck and we can't see the simple beauties. So you really have to retrain yourself to just stop. How good does that fresh, cold air smell in the morning? Soothes your throat. You know, like, really let yourself explore that. Again, this is about pleasure too, letting yourself heal that pleasure. You know, that pleasure is not sinful. Pleasure is not it's just, it is what it is. And then we're just going to pull our Reiki message. It is higher level thinking. Again, lots of heart chakra. We're getting lots of energy coming through to us through the heart right now. Higher level thinking. To get spiritually fit, we need to use soul level awareness, which means raising our thinking to a higher level and viewing our lives in the context of the bigger picture. Instead of just reacting to life in the ways we've done in the past, we can start asking ourselves, what is the purpose, the highest truth, the soul gift for me in this situation? This will change things in ways that, to begin with, we can barely imagine. So again, seeking the bigger picture, taking that new perspective, seeking not and being curious versus, you know, and thinking outside of the box instead of how we just continuously been trained to think. This is about, you know, what is the purpose, the highest truth, the soul gift for me in a situation. So again, maybe you can't see it right away, but when you look back, what gems, what little nuggets can you pull out of there that are really anchoring you into something that's new? So I'm going to end the cards there because I feel like I did a lot more than I was going to. And we are going to start the clearing, the fire part. So if you have a candle and you haven't lit yet, we'll bring it forward and we'll light it together. If you've lit your candle, that's totally cool. Mine's lit too, so not to worry. Yeah, so just if you need to pause the video and go get a candle, go get a journal, then pause the video, go get a candle, go get a journal, and we'll just get into it. So we're going to use fire and air. We're using air with the breath and the mind, and fire quite literally with the candle. So just bring your hands to your heart. Take a nice gentle breath in. And an exhale. Inhaling into the nose. And exhaling. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Just taking this time to call in the 4 sacred directions of Northeast, South, and West to guide and protect us on this journey today. The sacred elements of earth, air, fire, and water, as within, as without, witnessing the cycles within, around us, within nature, as part of us, as well as around us. And calling forth the sacred winds of change to blow swiftly through us and allow us to anchor ourselves into the vibration and shifts that are required for our highest good. Just calling forth the lineages present, making space for all lineages to come together. Calling forth the ancestors, archangels, ascended masters, spirit guides, animal totems, Reiki lineages, and Reiki masters. Calling forth the divine feminine, divine masculine, and energies that anchor within and around us. And calling forth that beautiful power of the moon tonight to pour that silver light from the crown chakra into the third eye, into the throat, into the heart, into the solar plexus, into the sacral, and into the root. Allowing the subconscious to become conscious and allow for that silver moonlight to kiss the darkest spots within you, to heal, to see, and to free any energetic residue that is not yours. Releasing your hands from your chest and starting to place them in front of your candle, with your palms just either sitting over top of it or in front of it, behind it, somewhere that's comfortable, that you're not going to burn yourself. And just starting to gaze softly at the candle, at the flame. Starting to witness the beauty of the fire, the warmth, the color. Is it still? Is it shifting? Is it growing? Does it change? Just softening your gaze to stay with the flame. And holding your hands out, you want your arms to be relatively straight. Start to breathe into that heart, really tuning into this breath. Breathing into the shoulders, across the front of the chest, opening the heart. Finally, breathing into the elbows, breathing into the wrists, and breathing into the hands. Call forth the power of fire, the sacred tool of activation, of purity, to anchor us into the feeling of safety, of warmth, of gratitude, of life. We offer thanks for working with it tonight. Taking your hands, gathering some of the energy of the fire. I clear my crown, sweeping it over the head, grabbing more of the fire. I clear my third eye so I may see, clearing it over the throat. I clear my throat so I may hear and listen, clearing it over the heart. I release all blocks, clearing it into the solar plexus. I release all doubt, clearing it into the sacral chakra. I release all shame and clearing it into the root chakra. I release all fears. Bring your hands back over the candle, letting yourself come back into stillness, feeling the subtle energy change in the body. This is how you clear with a candle. It's like that. You can do this every day, as often as you feel, or whenever you feel. Placing your hands in front of the fire again with intention. Feel that breath coming into the heart. And as you exhale, feel that energy moving down the arms and into the fire. Inhaling into the heart. Exhaling down the arms into the fire. One more time, inhaling into the heart. Exhaling into the fire down the arms. Just staying with that breath into the nose and out through the mouth, into the heart and down the arms. Staying with that breath and that rhythm and that focus. Start to take yourself into a space where you can see what's been going on for the last 2 weeks, the last month, 3 months, 6 months. Allow yourself to see the truth. Allow the fire to illuminate the truth for you about what truly is not serving you any longer. Be as specific as possible. And inhaling into that heart and sending it down the arms. Bringing forth all that you're ready to let go of, all that you're ready to release, all that you're ready to transmute, to learn from, to alchemize. Inhale. Exhale to release it into the candle. Inhale into the heart. Feel that expansion and that love and that freedom that comes with seeing the truth. And exhale what you're ready to let go of. Start to let go of ancestral patterns, of any stories related to love, or that love is an illusion. Letting go of any financial blocks, that money is evil, Money has to be made hard. It's hard work. Let go that you're never going to have enough. Let go of the way you thought your life was look. Let go of the people, the places, the things. Let go of the feelings of shame, of inadequacy. Let go of the thoughts that harm you, that hold you back. Whatever it is, keep sending it into the flame. Feeling it flow down your arms into the fire. Stay like this as long as you need. And if you want to pause the video and pick up when you're ready, please do so. When you're ready, speak out loud. I am free of all that is and all that was and all that is to be. I am free of all that is, of all that was, and all that is to be. I am free of all that is, of all that was, and all that is to be. Take your hands from the bottom and lift it up the candle, or just hold them over top of the candle if you're using a tea light or something. And placing your hands a safe distance away, still feeling the warmth of the fire. Start to inhale the energy up through the palms, up the arms, into the shoulders, and into the heart. Inhale that beautiful warmth of the fire into the palms of the hands, the energy centers in your palms, up the arms, into the chest, feeling that heart. You just let go, it's time to replenish. Inhale up into the throat, up into the hands, up into the arms, into the shoulders, into the heart, and release. Inhale that beautiful fire energy, that warmth, that vitality, that passion, that spaciousness up into your heart. Fuel yourself with the fire. Feel the energy awaken, a deep remembering within your heart. Feel the energy awaken, that beautiful wisdom, that ancient knowledge that lies in your bones. Let the fire warm those bones and loosen those secrets to come into the heart. One final breath, inhaling that beautiful flame up into the arms, through the palms, into the arms, into the shoulders, into the heart. And just receive it. Coming to place your hands on your heart, feeling the warmth again. Slightly bowing your head. Listening for any messages. Asking for any messages to come forward. And staying here for the next few minutes as I begin the sound healing. Holy breathing in, you're putting a nice gentle smile, and exhaling. Just feeling the shift, the switch, the change. Allowing yourself to stay in this space or journal or whatever you'd like. Have a nice bath, go for a walk, lie on your back. Let yourself just integrate a little bit longer. Thank you so much for watching. Blessed full moon. Hope you found some resonance, and I hope that this serves you. Satnam. Thank you.